There's plenty of great films to check out both in theaters and on streaming. And joining me now is producer Charlie for our latest edition of Cinema Corner. Producer Charlie, where do we start?
Okay, so let's start off with the big one, we'll call it.
Sure.
So first up, we have a Minecraft movie.
Okay.
So this is a PG, fantasy adventure comedy. So it follows four misfits after they are suddenly pulled through a mysterious portal into a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination.
Okay.
To get back home, they have to master this world while embarking on a quest with an unexpected expert crafter. So, as you can guess, this is based on the 2011 popular game Minecraft.
Yeah.
Personally, I've never played Minecraft, but I know it's a super popular game. We have a star-studded cast. We have Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Sebastian Hansen, Emma Myers, Daniel Brooks, and Jennifer Coolidge.
So many great names.
So many great names.
Yeah.
So Jack Black was actually originally supposed to just have a cameo and be the voice of a pig, talking pig.
Oh.
And then things changed, and then we got him as Steve.
Sure.
Now, I will say, this is not the Steve that people are going to know from Minecraft.
Okay.
The directors and everybody involved with the production says this is Jack Black's take on Steve. Because they wanted to go at it with the aspect that everybody's world is different in Minecraft.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie. Because there's millions and billions of possibilities a world could have, you know?
Yeah.
So development actually began back in 2014. And then there was a lot of ups and downs, revisions, a lot of changes within the directors and the screenwriters. So the story has changed from what we have today.
Okay.
So who knows what we would have originally had. I will say I was surprised that they actually had some YouTubers on the set to give advice and critiques and stuff, because
That is kind of interesting.
you know, they're probably the niche YouTubers that stream Minecraft
Yeah.
and everything like that. Now, if you are a player, there are plenty of references for you to get. I will say that. In my opinion, I felt like there wasn't a lot of crafting for Minecraft. Now, you know, might just cost more to do budget-wise, but I would have expected a lot more crafting, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely has a very interesting soundtrack as well.
Okay.
Some songs that just feel like they don't fit certain scenes, but to each their own. Maybe you think it's better.
Yeah.
I will say this may just be based on the script, but I did not think a lot of the acting was that good. Jack Black is way too over the top, in my opinion. Which I
That's
feel
Jack
like
Black, though.
I know, but I feel like anymore in anything live action, he's way more over the top than he used to be.
Okay, I can see that.
You know, I will say I did not care for Jason Momoa's character performance either. I will say he screams a lot, and that was pretty comical though, hearing Jason Momoa scream.
Yeah.
I will say I think the best part of Minecraft movie, in my opinion, was the 5 minutes in the whole movie Jennifer Coolidge is in there. She's a very small part, but she opens a lot of possibilities in the future.
Yeah.
But she's just very funny. She's Jennifer Coolidge.
Right, I'm sure a lot of people agree with you on that too, yeah.
So worldwide, this has made, surprisingly, I was surprised by this, 301 million already.
Oh my, okay.
And it surpassed its budget already because it was
Yeah.
150.
That's insane.
So I
actually.
think for a lot of people, it's overperformed. Even probably for Warner Brothers, they're probably like, wow. I will say it has surpassed the Super Mario Brothers movie as the highest grossing opening weekend for a movie based on a video game.
Interesting. I think this does speak to, though, like when you tap into these worlds, that's going to draw in a lot of people. There is a potential payoff if you do it right.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
And Minecraft has been around and so popular for so long that it has that big fan base.
Well, and you get the intrigue of like, what is this and how are they going to approach it? You know.
Right.
So I think like, I don't know, there's lots to take from this, which I think is cool.
So true. Now, I will say there are 2 post-credit scenes, one mid-credit and one at the very end. So if you go watch it, stick around. Opening possibilities in the future.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
So, moving on, up next we have The Luckiest Man in America.
Oh.
So this is an R-rated drama that's based on true events. So it depicts the 1984 scandal orchestrated by ice cream truck driver Michael Larson when he appeared on and won tons of money on the game show Press Your Luck. So this stars really good cast as well. Paul Walter Hauser, Walter Goggins, he's been in everything lately.
Love.
David Strathairn, Macy Williams, Shamir Anderson. It actually premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival back in September. It's a very interesting story. I will say I was unfamiliar with this
Yeah, I think I am too.
going into it, but basically he went into it, big fan, wanted to get some money, obviously. And here's the crazy thing. He memorized the patterns of the board. What's crazy is the producer for the show had only created 5 patterns.
Oh.
Which I'm like, okay, Granted, they probably didn't expect anybody to memorize it.
Sure.
But I feel like you would want more than 5 patterns
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious how many they have nowadays
Yeah.
based after that. So if you haven't seen it, it might be a good one to get caught up on those
Sure.
events.
Yeah.
I feel like it does a good job at stretching out that story because with this real life event, there's not like a whole bunch to get into.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
You're
fair.
kind of adding in those pieces, you know, that you might not fully know.
Yeah.
But I feel like it does a very good job. It doesn't feel like it's lagging at some points, you know. I feel like it keeps a pretty good pace.
Yeah.
Hauser's performance is great as Michael Larson. I think he that awkward kind of person. He did a very good job at bringing that to life.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you're unfamiliar with that story, it might be a good one to check out.
I love that. Yeah.
Worldwide, it's made $282,000 so far. Not sure on what the budget is though.
All right.
Now, let's go to a little comedy horror.
Okay.
I know you hate horror.
Well,
But-
but if it's comedic, maybe I could change my mind.
There you go. So this is Hell of a Summer. This is
Okay.
rated R as well. This follows a group of counselors at a summer camp who are targeted by a mysterious devil-masked killer.
Totally realistic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It gives me a little bit of Scream Queen vibes mixed with like Halloween.
Okay, I could
Ish,
see that
you
for
know?
sure. Yeah.
So this actually is a 2023 movie. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival back in September of that year. This stars Fred Heckinger, which he's been in so much lately.
yeah.
Finn Wolfhard, Billy Brick, Adam Polly, and actually it was written and co-directed by Finn Wolfhard and Billy Brick. So they met on the set of Ghostbusters Afterlife,
Ah.
and they found out they had a similar sense of humor. So they're like, hey,
Why don't
let's
we-
write something together, and then they landed on a slasher. They also,
fun.
besides writing it and co-directing, they also produced,
Mm.
and adding to the the producer roles, we have Fred Heckinger and Jason Bateman as well.
Mm.
So Finn Wolfhard actually stated though that for the film they wanted to cast undiscovered talent, which I love,
Mm.
because there are some people that unfamiliar, you have your names to kind of pull the draw, but it's great to see people that you don't know, because I feel like in today's age it's always just who can we get big named
Yeah.
into there and pull the audience.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not giving those new fresh blood a chance to go,
Right.
So it's a fun one. It definitely, like I said, the Scream Queen's Halloween, also very 80s campy slasher. So,
Okay.
if you're not a big horror fan like Blake,
Yeah.
this might be a good one because it's not like too gory, not too bloody, not too scary.
I love that.
Now, for being a slasher, though, I will say it doesn't have a ton of slashing, I feel like. But that's probably because to keep the budget down, and since it's kind of their first big feature themselves, it's cheaper and easier to fake those slashings off camera than it is on camera.
Gotcha. Okay.
The lighting at nighttime's a little bit rough too, a little hard to see sometimes, but overall, it's a pretty good film. I think that Wolfhard and Brick have a ton of potential. I'd be very curious to see where they go, especially in the horror genre.
Yeah.
See if they make it somewhere.
Sure.
Worldwide, it's made 1.7 million with a budget of 3 million. So a fun one to go watch, honestly.
Yeah, I love this.
Now moving on, this weekend we have The Amateur.
Okay.
This is a PG-13 action spy thriller. So when his supervisors at the CIA refuse to take action after his wife is killed in London in a London terrorist attack, a decoder takes matters into his own hands. So this is based off a novel of the same name by Robert Littell, and it stars Rami Malek, Lawrence Fishburne, Rachel Brosnahan, John Bernthal.
Whoever's doing the marketing on this movie deserves a raise. 'cause
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen the trailer at least 1,000 times.
The marketing has been great.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the trailer for it, you might just be living
You
under
might
a
be
rock a
living
little
rock.
bit.
Absolutely, yeah.
Development actually began though back in 2006. I was surprised for this.
Oh my
And
gosh.
originally Hugh Jackman was set to star.
Ah.
Now I will say I do not think it would have been the same movie with Jackman.
Hmm.
Hugh Jackman and Rami Malek play so many different characters.
Well, Rami Malek is able to tap into these very interesting kind of oddball characters.
Yeah.
He's got a very different look to start, and that's not in a mean way. It's just like he's able to tap into these because of who he is and the way
Yeah.
he looks and the way he's able to just like, I think, characterize things versus Hugh Jackman. I just don't think it would make sense. They're just not, like you said,
Right.
they're so opposite. Yeah.
Right. Well, Hugh Jackman's kind of that buff, burly guy, but
Sure.
then Rami Malek is more of the smaller, awkward guy. And I think he does great at pulling those awkward characters and playing them.
Yeah.
I think this is a great take on the spy genre to switches it up a little bit. Because, usually you have somebody that's a trained assassin.
Yeah.
Whereas Rami Malek's character is not. He's an analyst.
Yeah.
And he uses his own set of skills, especially in today's digital age, to go after those people that killed his wife. I will say, though, it was a little long.
Okay.
At times, it felt a bit slow. So I feel like they could have picked up the pace a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Or shortened it, but it releases this weekend. So if you want a good spy action thriller,
Yeah, might
that's
be a good one
up.
to check out.
Now, also this weekend, coming out alongside The Amateur, we have Warfare.
Okay.
This has got a good cast. It's got Kit Connor, Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, Charles Melton. So might be a good one. I'm not
Yeah.
sure yet. Then we also have Drop, The King of Kings, which is an animated Christian film about the life of Jesus.
Lovely.
And then The Ballad of Wallace Island.
Oh.
Now, moving on to streaming, not much coming out this week. Out today, though, on Hulu, is Small Things Like These with Cillian Murphy. Sorry.
All right, very good. Well, that's it for this edition of Cinema Corner. Let us know if you check out any of these films in theater or on streaming.